March 20th, 2001, the New York One Wise Guys debuted on Inside City Hall. Former Democratic Mayor Ed Koch and former Republican Senator Al D'Amato promised an open, honest political debate.
Most of the time, Dominic, you will be getting rather incisive opinions from two rather wise men as it relates to politics. We're going to tell it like it is. Sometimes we're going to agree, probably more than most people would expect, and sometimes we'll disagree, and that's what we've done to date, and I like him and he likes me.
The first topic, the 2001 mayoral race. D'Amato put his money on the public advocate, Mark Green.
Green's tenacious, he's a hard worker.
Koch disliked him.
He's a radical. He's on the left. I don't think New York City wants a return to the left-wing philosophy.
Green lost that election. A few months later, he earned a seat at the Wise Guys table. It gave the Democrat a platform to criticize the man he lost to, then Republican Michael Bloomberg.
He's going to have a vision beyond simply picking low-hanging fruit from predecessors off the shelf.
Koch and D'Amato often put their political affiliations aside and ganged up on Green.
John Kerry was
Can't you be gracious even in defeat?
1 second. Ed, take anger management courses, please.
During the 2004 presidential contest, it got really contentious.
All you do is say, Bush lied, Bush misled.
When have I said Bush lied?
You're lying. Say he misled.
You're lying.
You say he misled.
Thank you.
You say he misled. It's the
Dominic,
same thing.
allow me to
Over
finish.
and over.
Since the last round of statewide elections, Green took a break from the show to run for state attorney general. He lost and has said he won't run for office again. Green has since become president of Air America, the struggling liberal radio network owned by his brother. With his return to Inside City Hall tonight, Green gets another outlet to express himself. Count on these two to keep him on his toes. Rita Nissan for Inside City Hall.
Thank you, Rita. And joining us once again, our former Senator Al D'Amato, former Mayor Ed Koch, and former public advocate Mark Green. Welcome back, gentlemen. And Mr. Green, I guess we should just say welcome back.
As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, anyway, that was a very nice piece Rita did, and it reflected the evolution of this. I came back because I want to do for Wise Guys what Rosie O'Donnell did for The View. Being a little excited.
We're happy to have you.
You're going to be better than Rosie. There's no doubt about that.
Guys, I cannot believe, as I looked at the date on, it's been 6 years of doing this segment.
Time
6
flies,
years?
huh? Well, particularly when you have fun, and we have fun. And that's why, you know, I think...
But I don't think we've changed much.
Oh, Mark? He's still got his hair, Ed. Well, you know, you and I, we haven't done much in that area.
It helps if you take a sabbatical. Let me recommend little time off, you come back recharged. All I want to say is, since I now have joined them in being a wise guy who won't seek office again, I may be wrong.
Now, wait a minute.
We may draft you.
Be careful.
We may draft you.
Look.
I'll probably need more than that. But at the least,
You're not making a promise.
I may be wrong, but I want to say things that I just be as blunt and as candid as I can.
He'll be as blunt.
I'll just call it as it is because I don't have an axe to grind.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll put you on the hot seat, welcoming you back to your home chair there. Let's start with the president and the fact that he commuted Scooter Libby's prison term, saying that the sentence was excessive. Was it too much, Mr. Green?
What was too much was his shameful, disgraceful commutation. A president has unfettered discretion to issue a pardon or a commutation. Governor Bush chose not to commute the death sentence of a retarded 33-year-old black man who didn't know what he was doing. But here, in this instance, if you are a wealthy Republican crony, and that's who Scooter Libby is, suddenly he goes against his own Justice Department's guidelines. He doesn't consult with his own Justice Department. And his own federal appointee, the judge in this case, who was a George W. Bush appointee, said the evidence was overwhelming. The jury said it was overwhelming. The prosecutor said it was overwhelming. But no, in this case, before a day is served, he issues preferential justice. I think it's wrong.
Well, I think we're getting a little bit of that Democratic pile-on rhetoric. I didn't hear Mark say one thing, correct me if I'm wrong, when you had the outrageous pardons, not a commutation of a sentence, but pardons of a crook, a thief,
who stole hundreds of millions of dollars and who had all his political lackeys getting paid off. And I'm talking about Bill Clinton pardoning Marc Rich. Not a word. And then I hear our senator, who I've been very supportive of in terms of her work, attacking the president. Well, she was the co-president. What did she say about Marc Rich? What did she say about the other pardons that took place? I think it's a lot of nonsense, and I think it's piling on. And let me tell you something. I've disagreed with this president on lots of things. I don't think he handled the war the right way. I tell you that. I don't think he handled this issue on immigration the right way. I think you secure the borders first, and then you show the American people you mean business and you come to them with a program. But you don't talk about, well, this is what we will do, and you haven't done it. It's a lot of nonsense. But piling on him now, he did the right thing. And I think in the fullness of time, he'll give him a pardon.
Mr. Mayor?
Well, it's interesting to me. The Libby case is really a very strange case because he didn't out this lady. It was a State Department deputy, Armitage, who wasn't punished at all. And what he's being punished for is saying to the FBI that he thinks it was Tim Russett, a reporter, who told him about Miss Plam. And the fact is that if he were lying, he wouldn't have said that, because he knows they're going to go to see Russett and ask him, and Russett quite correctly said, I didn't say it. He would have said, if he were lying, I don't know. So I believe that the president was right in doing this, and the reason he's waiting as it relates to a full pardon is to see whether or not the whole case is reversed by the appellate courts.
Two comments, if I could. One about Alan, what Ed said. Looking back, I think Bill Clinton was wrong to pardon Marc Rich. The Israeli government, big time, lobbied President Clinton. He gave in to them, and he did it.
Well, the difference, you think it was more than the Israeli government, Mark?
I think it was wrong. A difference is Scooter Libby was the Cheney to Cheney. Dick Cheney and Scooter Libby helped choreograph the general leak of Valerie Palm, who was outed as a covert CIA agent, risking her life and ending her career. One second, let me finish. He is protecting his own. Second, when I'm sorry, Ed, you want to interrupt? Please.
Did he out Miss Palmer?
Okay, let me answer the question.
Did he? Or yes or no?
He tried.
No, he didn't.
No, let me finish.
Did he?
You said that. What did he do? He just maybe misunderstood Tim Russert. Wrong.
I didn't say he misunderstood.
6 public officials and 3 journalists were told not, gee, I may have forgotten, which any of us can do. In this instance, Scooter Libby made up an elaborate story of what he did. 9 people contradicted him. A jury, a judge, and a prosecutor. You are contradicting the jury.
You have to explain to me how anybody, except a dope, and he's not a dope, would say, if they came to you, oh, it was Mark Green who told me. When you know they're going to go to Mark Green, you can say, I never told him that.
Was the jury wrong? A unanimous jury?
Look, do you understand what I'm saying? If he was lying, would he say, Mark Green told me? Yes. Doesn't he know that the FBI is going to go to see Mark Green? And therefore, it doesn't make any sense.
So why did he do it?
Senator, could this hurt the GOP?
Because, pardon me?
Could this hurt the GOP?
No. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, it's one of the good things that Bush finally did, and the fact is that there are many more important areas that we should be concerned about. And instead of beating up a president, beating down this nation, and reasonable people may agree or disagree, but to come up with some grand cabal and make the president an evil man for doing this is a lot of nonsense. Do I know whether Scooter Libby acted according to what he thought, what he remembered? I think the guy was under a great deal of pressure. I give him the benefit of the doubt. The jury didn't. The president does. He has the right to do that. And I think that's what it comes down to.
Hey, this is fun. I'm glad I did this.